But obviously, traveling is not cheap, and I am not made of money. And a lot of people have wondered how I've been able to travel as much as I have been the last few years. So I put a list together of tips and tricks that have helped me save a lot of money over the years and allowed me to travel to some pretty beautiful places. Hey everybody, welcome back to Curious Rabbit Media. If this is the first time that you are stopping by, I invite you to hit that like button if you are watching on Facebook, or hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, just to make sure that you stay tuned for new videos and articles that are to come. So today I wanted to talk about something that I'm super passionate about, which is traveling. And this is something that I plan on doing as much as I possibly can in my lifetime, and really going to as many places as possible. I don't have really a certain list of places that I want to go. There's definitely places I want to visit, but more or less wherever I could travel, I am totally open to going and exploring. But obviously, traveling is not cheap, and I am not made of money. And a lot of people have wondered how I've been able to travel as much as I have been the last few years. So I put a list together of tips and tricks that have helped me save a lot of money over the years and allowed me to travel to some pretty beautiful places. So I broke this video up into two sections: how to save your travel costs and how to save your boarding and lodging costs, because those are really the two biggest aspects that can make or break your travel budget. So I want to preface this list by saying that being flexible is the #1 tool in order for you to get the best deals and save the most money on your travel costs. Obviously, everybody's different, and some people have different requirements for what they like when they're traveling, and that's totally fine, but you might have to pay more to get those things. But if your top priority is to be able to travel, then this is the list for you. So one of the most common ways that people can save money on flights is to use a third-party website. There's tons out there, and I'm going to leave a list in the description bar so that you can check some of them out. But what most of these websites do is buy plane tickets in bulk and resell them for a cheaper price. So this is a great way to save some money rather than going through the airline directly. The con of doing this is that it can be a hassle if something comes up where you have to change or cancel your trip. Going through a third party always makes it more difficult and complicated to figure things out. So that's something to keep in mind. But as long as everything runs smoothly, this is a great way for you to save some money on your flight costs. So one really great travel hack is to buy multiple one-way tickets in order to get to your destination. A great example of this is last summer I was able to travel for a month long, and I visited Seattle, Washington, Kauai, Hawaii, and Toronto, Ontario. So a lot of people were curious as to how I was able to do this, since a round-trip ticket to Hawaii alone from my hometown Buffalo, New York can be anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000. So what I did instead was initially bought a one-way ticket to visit my friend in Seattle, Washington, and out of curiosity looked up how much it would be to get to Hawaii from Seattle. And a one-way ticket from Seattle, Washington to Kauai was $180. And now I spent $190 to get to Seattle. And from Hawaii, to get back home, I flew to Toronto because it's only 2 hours away from where I live. So altogether, to go to 3 different places, I only spent $610. This is a really great way for you to travel hack. If you are wanting to travel long distances, but traveling out of your home airport is really expensive to go to a particular destination. Play around with different airports that might be closer and see if you could buy multiple one-way tickets in order to save a few hundred, if not $1,000. If it's a closer trip, I highly suggest using services like Amtrak, Greyhound, or Megabus. Now this definitely requires flexibility. Amtrak is known to have a lot of delays, and Megabus can take hours extra than, of course, flying. But if you don't mind a little road trip and have work to do, most of them have free Wi-Fi and you can get a lot of work done in the time spent traveling to your destination. I'm actually going to Quebec this weekend, which I will have a travel vlog out soon of that trip. And I'm taking a Greyhound bus from Buffalo to Montreal. And it's going to be a solid 10-hour trip. So not everybody wants to do that, and that's totally understandable, but in order to buy a plane ticket round trip from Buffalo to Montreal, it would have been about $400 to $500. And with taking Greyhound, I'm spending $123 to get there round trip. Plus, I really don't mind a good road trip where I don't have to worry about driving. I have free Wi-Fi to get work done and tons of books that I need to catch up on. So if that doesn't bother you, this is a great way to get to your destination on a budget. If you have a specific destination that you're traveling to and are wondering when is the best time to purchase a ticket to that place, I definitely suggest using apps like Hopper, which do all the legwork for you in figuring out when the best time is to buy that plane ticket. All you have to do is type in the destination of where you're going, and Hopper will send you notifications letting you know when is the best time to buy. If the app thinks that it is best to wait, it will let you know that tickets are most likely to go down if you wait it out, and will give you a notification as to when the best price is available. There's a lot of, I guess, myths out there as to when is the best time to buy a plane ticket. I hear buying it Tuesday nights, for example, is a great way to save money. I personally haven't seen any of these to be true. I still think it's kind of finicky and kind of hard to tell when prices are going to be best. Some people like to play the waiting game and wait until the very last minute to buy their ticket, and that's something that you can definitely do, but it is kind of risky. If you're a student, you should definitely check out StudentFly.com. You can sign up for their email list and they will let you know when they have awesome deals on different flights. If you are not biased as to where you're flying, I've seen tickets for as low as $30 round trip, but they're all to different destinations. So you kind of have to find what works for you. So moving on to ways to save for boarding and places to stay. The number one and probably most obvious way to save money is to stay with a friend or family member that you know lives there. As long as you reach out to them and see if they're comfortable having you stay as a guest, I think that this is an awesome way to visit people that you might have scattered across the globe if they're willing to open up their home to you. The second tip that I give is to stay in hostels. I think this is an amazing way to travel, especially if you're a college student, but really if it's any age and you are open to sharing spaces with other people. I think hostels get a really bad rep and people picture them as, I don't know, just really rugged rooms and all you have is a mattress to sleep on and no place to lock your stuff, and you always have to be on the lookout for people taking your stuff or anything like that. I feel like a lot of people have reservations about hostels, but every hostel I've stayed at has been super hospitable, very clean, super friendly staff, and amazing roommates that I've stayed with. And I've met some really cool people from all around the world staying in hostels. Not only are hostels cheap, but some hostels will allow you to work your stay there, where you will essentially just check people in and clean the rooms and work your stay for free. Hostelworld.com is the most reputable website to find the best hostels all around the world. You can look at tons of different reviews and find what works for you, and a lot of the hostels are really cool and unique. Rooms could be anywhere from $15 to $50 a night, and a lot of times I think hostels are way cooler than regular plain old hotel rooms. Another website that you can check out, which I personally have not tried but have had friends who used and enjoyed this service, is Couchsurfing.com. And Couchsurfing essentially lets you find free places to stay of people that open up their houses to letting you, yes, sleep on their couch. This is an awesome way if you're trying to just travel out to a bunch of different spots. Sometimes you can make arrangements with people to stay longer term, sometimes it's just 1 or 2 nights. This is a great way to find somewhere to stay for free. House sitting is another cool option to see the world. There's a few different websites where you essentially just trade services for house sitting, pet sitting, watering people's plants while they are out of town, and they let you stay in their house. And I've seen this all around the world, so let's say you have to spend a lot of money to go to Australia or someplace that's really far away and will most likely be a pretty expensive plane ticket. House sitting would be an amazing way to get completely free boarding. And lastly, WWOOFing. So WWOOFing stands for Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms. Again, this is something that I've not personally tried out, but really hope to try one day. And you basically connect with farmers all around the world who are looking for people who will help them. It will show you how to do what you need to do. You can oftentimes eat what you are growing and planting with them, and yeah, you can stay with them for free. So these are just a few tips and tricks to save hundreds of dollars on your next trip. Again, being flexible and open-minded is super important in order to get these great deals and savings and allow you to see as much of the world as possible. I hope that this helped you guys gain a little bit of insight into different ways that you can travel hack to see as much of the world as you possibly can. If you're an avid traveler, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what is your favorite place that you've traveled to, and let me know if you have any travel hacks that I've left out in this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will have a Montreal vlog up soon, and I am also finishing up the spot unionizing documentary. And if both of those are out by the time that you are watching this, the link will be in the description bar, and so you should totally check those videos out as well. But until then, stay curious.